Hello YouTube, MDEX Music here, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 10 of Upper Structure Fridays, a series where we explore the use of upper structures for piano voicings and improvisation. In this season, we're studying quartals. If you're not familiar with upper structures, I strongly suggest you check out Season 1, which is available now as an entire course featuring interactive PDFs, demos, and much more. You can click on the link here or just check the description down below. Also, be sure to watch the introduction to this series where we explain both what quartals are and how we're going to use them to create new colors in music. So today, let's take a look at a perfect quartal built off the 4th degree of a minor 7 chord. It will be notated like this: 4-4-7 over minor 7. A great upper structure to use on any minor 7 chord. So if I have an A minor 7, the 4 is D. So I build my perfect quartal off of that D, and I'll get D, G, and C. This is going to contain one tension, the 11th, that D. The other two notes, the G and the C, are just merely guide tones, actually, the G and the C. This 11th is available, that D is available on any minor 7 chord because of its relationship to the guide tone that it's nearest to, in this case, the 3rd, C. And that relationship is a whole step. And that's something we can always lean on when it comes to the 11th and using it on these minor 7 chords. So again, I have my A minor 7 down here. I have my quartal built on the 4 up here, and when I put them together, the color I get is this. To construct this upper structure, we simply play a perfect quartal over a minor 7 chord, starting on the 4th degree of that chord. For example, in A minor 7, the 4 is D, so we simply have to play a D perfect quartal on top of A minor 7. We now have an A minor 7 with the 11th. So this adds only one tension, the 11th, and like we said before, the 11th is always available on any minor 7 chord, which means we can use this upper structure on top of any minor 7 chord, regardless of its function or the context in which it's being used. Here are the ways that you can think about this upper structure. Play a perfect quartal starting on the 4 of the chord. For a more independent perspective, just think a perfect 4th above the root and play the perfect quartal on that note in any inversion. The 4-4-7 contains the 11th and the two guide tones, the flat 3 and the flat 7. This upper structure has all of the necessary information to define the minor 7 chord, so we can actually play it over just the root and get the minor 7 sound without needing any of the other notes. It's interesting to notice that the root plus the upper structure is a quartal voicing in and of itself, built using only perfect fourths, which makes it very agreeable on most minor modal tunes, such as So What? So let's take our example from before, the D4-7 over A minor 7, and strip it down a bit. Let's take the upper structure voicing and put it on top of just the root of A minor 7, just on top of A. What this creates is basically just a perfect 4th on top of a perfect 4th on top of a perfect 4th. So this is a quartal voicing, not necessarily an upper structure quartal, but a quartal voicing. And this is something that's really great to use on modal music or anything really reliant on these quartal voicings. And remember, one of the great things about our upper structure today is that it contains two of the guide tones, the flat 3 and the flat 7. That's what facilitates our ability to just take the voicing we had earlier, all the notes in A minor 7, and just strip it down to just the A, because the upper structure contains all the pertinent information I need to know what's going on. So let's take a look at this upper structure quartal in a more tonal setting, in My Foolish Heart. So let's take a look at measures 10 and 11 and the 3 chords there within. This is nothing more than just a secondary 2-5-1, F minor, B flat, and E flat. And what we're gonna do with these 3 chords is voice them using nothing but upper structure quartals. We'll use today's upper structure quartal on the F minor 7. We'll use week 7s on the 5 chord, the B flat 7, and then we'll show you, we'll play what's coming up in week 15 on the resolution on that E flat. So for the first chord in this example, the F minor 7, we'll use today's upper structure voicing. As a matter of fact, we're going to invert it. I'm going to take this B flat down here, the 11, and I'm going to put it on top. Remember, you can always invert any of these upper structures. By doing this, we're going to do something really cool, which you'll see later on. So here is my upper structure chordal for the F minor 7, the 4-4-7 over minor 7. And then we're going to switch gears over into week 7's technique, the flat 3-4-7 over dominant 7. And that's all going to culminate in this resolution here that we'll talk about more in week 15. So our example plays like this. It's really cool, right? So what happens here when we use nothing but these quartals and the inversion on that first quartal is, well, a bunch of stuff happens. We create parallel movement in the upper structure voicing. We create oblique movement. We create these really cool lines, and we also are trapping our target notes. So if I broke down each note in all 3 chords and isolated them, you could see the lines that they create. So that upper line is merely just climbing up chromatically. And on the interior, we have this trapping technique, which also parallels the lower note of the voicing and its trapping technique. So you have this parallel movement down on the bottom, which traps our target notes. You have this chromatic movement going in the contrary direction on top. And all this stuff, all this really cool stuff happened by way as a consequence of us using nothing but quartals and or inversions of them. Remember, the whole point is that you look at these upper structures from different perspectives, and each perspective might open up a different door, and any of these ways of thinking is useful. It's now time for your upper structure challenge of the day. See if you can picture the 4-4-7 perfect chordal that goes with the given minor 7 chord. We'll give you 4 beats to think about it, and then we'll show you the answer. F minor 7, E flat 4-7, C minor 7, F 4-7, D minor 7, G 4-7, A minor 7, D 4-7. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks again for joining us. Get season 2 of Upper Structure Fridays available now. Check it out at mdex.com. We always cordially invite you to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. We're gonna leave you today with our demonstration showing you the 4-4-7 perfect chordal over minor 7 chords.